Hey, what is up, guys? WWE Forever 98 here, and today I will be doing a DVD unboxing as well as a very rare, as of late, top 5 list. I know some people really like this, these video series, the top 5s and whatnot. I know Yeah loves them. But I figured I haven't done one in a while, and I really didn't have any videos planned, and I haven't been making a lot of videos as of late, so I just figured I'd do a top 5 list. So, the DVD update will be later. The top 5 list for today is the top 5 wrestlers who should have been WWF/E champions. This was a pretty tough list. I know now, guys, this is my opinion. Alright, I know that a lot of people may disagree with me. I don't think I'll get a lot of hate for it, but this is just simply my opinion. So the honorable mentions, pretty good. Owen Hart, I know a lot of people have this guy as maybe one, maybe even at the top. Christian, yes, I know maybe I'm being a little biased, but honest to God, guys, this guy was probably one of the most hated heels in 2005. Rick Rude, and the British Bulldog. So those are my honorable mentions. And some of those guys people have in their top 5s, but I just personally think that I just thought that these other 5 were more qualified and would have been better champions. So here we go. Number 5. Paul Orndorff. That's right, Paul Orndorff. A lot of people don't put this guy on his list, but going back and watching all these old school pay-per-views, I was pretty impressed by Paul. He was a really hated heel. He had a great feud with Hogan in the 80s. And you know what? He was even over as a face when he teamed up with Hogan. So, this guy was the total package, in my opinion. He had the look. He had some good wrestling skills. If Orndorff defeated Hogan at WrestleMania 2, that would have just put him way over. But, most of these guys I have on this list was during the Hogan era. So, back then WWE didn't want to take the title off Hogan. So there's going to be a lot of guys that were in the 80s, early 90s. So coming in at number 5 is Paul Orndorff. Coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 4 is Mr. Perfect. This guy, great technical wrestlers. I think he's one of the best of all time, in my opinion. He just had a great gimmick, that whole cocky, arrogant guy who thinks he's his wrestling spotless. He commanded a good mic. If I were to relate somebody to him nowadays, I would probably say The Miz. Now it's two different gimmicks, but just the cockiness is there, the mic skills are there. I think it's a very good comparison. Mr. Perfect, he had great matches with Bret Hart, King of the Ring. This guy, he was great. He was great. Rest in peace, Mr. Perfect. But I just think this guy could have been way over if he got in the strap. Number 3, Jake the Snake Roberts. Now, I didn't know much about Jake until I watched his DVD, Pick Your Poison. Just putting the story aside, I watched his matches, I watched his interviews. My God, he was a great talker. He was a great talker, great in-ring work. He was the guy who introduced the DDT, and that was actually his finisher. Nowadays, you just see it as like a regular move in most guys' move sets. But that DDT was deadly. People feared that DDT, and nowadays we just say, oh, it's whatever, it's a DDT. But Jake the Snake Roberts, he had the perfect gimmick to go over with the kids. And I just think that if Hogan dropped the belt to, say, I don't know, Orndorff or DiBiase or something like that, I think that Jake could have stepped in there and dominated. I think he could have easily been WWF champion. So coming in at number 3 is Jake the Snake Roberts. Coming in at number 2. Now, this was tough. 1 and 2 were very tough for me to choose. But I'm going to have to say number 2 is Ted DiBiase. I just thought that this guy would have been a fantastic WWF champion. If he went over Hogan, I mean, this guy was one of the most hated heels of all time, in my opinion. And if he just went over Hogan, the biggest face versus the biggest heel around the late 80s, early 90s, this would have been one hell of a feud for the WWF strap. And, I think that was probably one of the biggest mistakes WWE has ever made, not putting the belt on DiBiase. I mean, he was just so hated, guys. I mean, with all the money he bought his $1 million belt, he bought the number 30 pick at a Royal Rumble. I forget which one it was. So, I mean, I thought this guy could have easily been a great champion. So, number 1, very tough decision, but it has to be Roddy Piper. I mean, guys, this is probably one of the best talkers in wrestling history, in my opinion. He's probably one of the most hated heels. I mean, back in the day, he was so hated. He main evented WrestleMania 1. I mean, his feud with Hogan was absolutely phenomenal. Piper's Pit, probably the most recognizable wrestling segment of all time. I mean, this guy was the total package, and I think that Roddy Piper could have maybe even been the best WWF champion of all time. So that's just my opinion, guys. So recapping, number 5, Paul Orndorff. Number 4, Mr. Perfect. Number 3, Jake the Snake Roberts. Number 2, Ted DiBiase. And number 1, Roddy Piper. Alright, guys, so now I'm going to unbox this DVD from Go Hastings. If you guys want free DVDs, go to the description box, points to shop, get free DVDs. I get most of my DVDs off there. So, yeah. Unbox this. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you probably know what this is. I asked about it actually last week or something like that. Alright, so here's the little thing, whatever. So here it is, guys. We have Twist of Fate, the Matt and Jeff Hardy story. Now, I was probably the biggest Hardy Boys fan ever back in the day. I mean, I had his shirts, I had their wristbands things, whatever, their sleeves. Wow, I really miss this, the Hardy Boys team. So let's open it up. You got the 2 discs. You have Matt's story, and then you have Jeff's story. Insert. You guys know how I feel about inserts. So this is a great addition to my collection. I've wanted this for a while. I've heard great things about it. So if you guys have watched this DVD, let me know how what you thought about it. I've heard great things. So anyway, guys, so that's my DVD update. That's my top 5. If you want to make a video response to that top 5, go right ahead. But thanks for watching, guys. Tomorrow I will have my Raw rant, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.